Hello everyone. Today we will be learning about construction scheduling using constraint satisfaction method. Construction has been an integral part of human civilization from long before. It can also be considered as one of the key indicators for measuring progress and development of human civilization. With time, the size, sophistication and complexity of construction projects have grown tremendously. Nowadays, to complete a construction project, planning is very crucial. In earlier days, since the size of the projects were relatively small and less complex, generation of a schedule was possible manually. Nowadays, construction projects are subject to numerous constraints of various types, such as due days, resource limitation, safety, financial constraint, managerial constraint, etc. Until a decade ago, critical path method (CPM) was used widely for generation of construction schedules. Nowadays, simple projects use this method to generate schedules, but this requires all project constraints to be defined and arranged into a single logical network for schedule generation. In real life, however, more than one option of execution, conditions, and precautions affect the logic of project network. CPMs are not suitable for such cases. In last decade, constraint satisfaction method (CSP) have been used for generation of schedules. In this CSP, all these variables and their domains are properly defined at first, and by applying constraint, the domain is reduced each time till all the constraints are satisfied. If all the constraints are not satisfied, then we can perform some relaxation and regenerate the schedule. It works for multi-logic networks and can also be used to generate alternate schedules. Before understanding CPM, let us know about the types of constraint in any scheduling problem. In any projects, there can be various nature of constraint such as time, technological, managerial, logistic, resource, space, etc. All these can be classified into three categories. First one is rigid. Mostly all the technological constraints, for example, placement of framework and rebar must be completed before pouring of cement. It is a rigid constraint. These are fixed logic and cannot be modified during schedule generation. Second one is conditional constraint. The constraints such as welding work should be done in isolation for safety reasons as it produces sparks. It is a conditional constraint. Here two events cannot be done at a same time or a same place due to safety reasons. Here precedence of activities doesn't matter. Third is flexible or soft constraints. These are managerial or micromanagement constraints which can be modified to suit the needs. For example, the construction scheduling of three buildings can be B1, B2, B3 or B2, B1, B3 or B3, B1, B2 in any order. It is possible. So that's why it is known as soft constraint. CPM assumes that the duration and cost of activities are deterministic. For example, it takes like building A will be completed in exactly 2.5 weeks, but in realistic measure would be 2 to 3 weeks of time. It is useful when project deadline is not fixed and resources are not constrained. It only handles rigid logic. Some improvements are done by Chua and Yo in 2011 to manage the constraint from static and dynamic changes. This framework is known as PDM++ framework. Still, it cannot handle the case where the constraints are not satisfied in first iteration. Coming to constraint satisfaction problem, it is formulated by set of variables and their domains. The solution or schedule is generated by applying constraint and reducing the domain of variable progressively till all the constraints are satisfied. If not, then a soft constraints are relaxed and algorithm backtracks to find another path for schedule generation. Scheduling constants are divided into two categories. One is unary constant. It is used to restrain a set of possible values for each variable. For example, the starting time should be less than 2 days, which can be represented as SL less than 2, means the starting time should be less than 2 days. Second is non-unary constant. It is applied between any two scheduling variables, such as SA plus SP is less than 5 weeks, means the starting time of activity A and starting time of activity B should together be started within 5 weeks. Uh, Here is a pictorial representation of the project A constant graph consisting of four activities A, B, C, and D. The variable for each activities are start time and finish time. Here the logical operators such as less than equal to, greater than equal to, not equal to represent the relationship between variables. The activity B and C are bound by conditional constraints. Here the OR node depicts the interchangeability in precedence of these two activities. All the activities are bound by resource limitation, hence no activities can be performed parallelly or simultaneously. Coming back to the objective of the study, which is to develop a schedule for construction project based on some constraint. In a sense, it is a special case of constraint satisfaction problem. From the previous discussion also, it is clear that CSP is far better choice than CPM in terms of generating schedule. Some other uses of CSP in construction are development of stepwise procedure for scheduling and resource allocation, generation of alternate schedules satisfying all constraints, etc. There are many development in CSP such as inclusion of genetic algorithm or particle swarm optimization and many other. The CSP method is efficient in producing realistic plans, but many of the times may require extensive computational effort. Use of heuristic algorithm reduce the computational effort and time, but generate satisfactory schedule in place of optimal one. Uh, Better the heuristic, more the chance of solution being optimal or close to optimal. Here we will discuss a CSP based scheduling method proposed by Allen. It uses depth first search to produce schedules. It is capable of handling various constraints encountered in construction. Each variable used has its own domain interval denoted by lower and upper bound. The scheduling is performed in 5 stages. In stage 1, various project activities are identified, constraints are properly defined, and scheduling variables are generated. These variables are also initialized with their domain, that is start and finish time. In stage 2, the project constraint of stage 1 are imposed on the variable. After each constraint, the node and arc consistency is checked. A successful check reduces the domain of concerned variable. In stage 3, backtracking is performed when a successful check in stage 2 fails up to the previous OR node with alternate path. Uh, in stage 4, if all the alternate path fails in a successful consistency check, here the soft constraints are relaxed. Stage 5 is reached when a successful plan has been realized. Here the domain of all variables are converted into start and finish times. Here user also has the option to generate alternate solutions. Let's understand these stages with the help of a flowchart. At first, all the variables and constraints are defined, then all the variables are initialized with their domain. Up to this is stage 1. Then a constraint is selected and applied on its respective variables. The node and R consistency check is performed. If it passes the check, then the domain variable related to the constraints are reduced. Then a check is performed to see whether all the constraints are satisfied or not. If not, then another non-explored constraint is chosen. During this process, if node or R consistency check fails, then backtracking is performed. Backtracking is done till the nearest OR node where another unexplored path exists. Then this cycle again continues. If all the backtracking search is exhausted, then comes the turn for relaxing soft constraint. If relaxation is not possible, then solution does not exist as the problem is too constrained. If relaxation is performed, then the cycle starts again from stage 2. If all constraints are satisfied, then we have obtained a successful plan. Here we can also generate alternate plans by following this route. If not, the algorithm ends here. The case example which will be discussed is as follows. A hospital wants to construct a new building opposite to the old building. It has three gates G1, G2 and G3 and one road R1. The construction project is to construct two more roads R2 and R3, and overhauling of road R1. The total project duration is 20 weeks. Another managerial constraint is at least one road and one gate must be available to serve the hospital at any time.
So, as my fellow mates have discussed about the case example, so I'll be proceeding with the solution of this algorithm. So, how can we generate a solution using CPM, critical path method? So, basically, it is a traditional algorithm in field of civil engineering. So, what it does is like CPM allows planner to explore one project at a time. So for enabling realistic schedule, like we have to give a comprehensive project network as input for CPM, and this algorithm will give us this schedule. So what we have to do is we have to give some trials, trial inputs, and until the acceptable schedules are obtained. So like we'll start with this trial one, in which what we can do is like we can start constructing a road R2 and R3 as from seen here. So we can start constructing R2 and R3, and R1 is still there, which is operating right now. So at least one road is operating. So now after completing completion of R3, we can begin the construction of R1. So we'll be seeing in this next slide with the figure. So as we can see, like here, 2 1 2 2 2 3 are 2 4 are part of activity 2, and 3 1 3 2 3 3 3 4 3 5 are the part of activity 3. So we are starting with the second number road, and then we are also simultaneously constructing road number 3. So after when row number 3 is completed, we can start constructing row number 1. So in this period, what is like 0 is the starting time of 2 1, and 2, so 2 is the duration. So 0 plus 2 will be equals to 2, final time period of 2 1. Then activity 2 1 start with at the week 2, and then the duration is 4, so it will be at the end, 2 2 will finish at 6. So similarly road 2 will complete at 11 week, and also the road 3 will complete at 17 weeks. So 17 week we can start constructing road number 1. So it will take 24 days to complete all three roads. So but our project duration is 20-week duration, so this trial is rejected. Now we'll consider the another trial, which is trial number 2. So what we can do is, instead of doing making road R1 after R3, we can start building this R1 after as soon as the R2 is completed. So we have considered R1 just after the R2 is completed, road 2 is completed. So road 2 is started with 0, and road 3 also started simultaneously, but as soon as the road 2 finished, we have started road 1. So it resulted in the 20 days of 20 days of complete project week duration, and it satisfied our criteria. So this solution is acceptable, and this algorithm will terminate here. So now coming on to the artificial intelligence based CSP method for solution generation of this construction scheduling activities. So now we have the three types of constraint, basically time related constraint, technological constraint, and managerial constraint. So as you can see from time related, basically it is evident from the name that they are time constraints, and technological constraints are basically safety constraints, and managerial are from the point of view of management, like how they want to schedule the activities. So first stage is initialization of the variable. So we'll initialization of the variables to all domains to the 0 to 20. So 20 is basically the project duration. So we'll initialize all the variables from 0 to 20, that is the domain. Then the second stage is propagation of the variable constraints. So first is activity duration constraints, so which are from constraint 2 to 13. So let's consider the constraint number 2, which says as S21 plus D21 should be equals to F21. So basically these are S21 is from 0 to 20, and F21 is also from 0 to 20 before propagation. But as we know that duration of 21 is 2, so like this has the maximum value is 20, and this is 2. So S21's maximum value can be 18, so its domain reduces to 0 to 18, but so its lower bound doesn't change, but its upper bound changes from 20 to 18. And similarly for the F21, so it is like minimum value is 0, and this value is 2, this is fixed. So F21's minimum value should be 2, so it will start from the 2 and it will end at the 2 to 20. So S21 will be from 0 to 18, and S21 will be 2 to 20. Now similarly we can proceed with another time constraint, and then the next constraint comes is technological constraints, which are from 14 to 23. So in that table we have seen like these this table 14 to 23 are technological constraint. So which says basically f21 should be less than s22. So finish of 21, so 21 should be finished before the start of the 22. In the road 22 2 on the road 2 21 part should be finishing before the 22 part. So as we can see, if from the previous constraints, f21 is from 2 to 20 and s22 is 0 to 16. So after constant propagation, f21 will be from 2 to 16 and s22 will be 2 to 16. So that is the common domain point. Then coming on to the managerial constraint, which are 22, 24, and 25 numbered. So basically which says I like to maintain at least one accessible road during the construction. So R11 can start only when R2, that is 24, and R3 is 35. So R2 24 part and R3 35, as you can see from the figure, like this part R3 35 and R2 24, as because these are near to the gate 2 and gate 3. So after finishing them, then only we can start R1 1. So this activity we can start. This is basically according to the management how they want to construct the activities. So like let's suppose f24 will have initial values which of after two constant reductions, it is f24 is 11 to 20 and s11 is 0 to 13. So after applying this managerial constraints, we have a domain left to 11 to 13, both f2 4 and s11. So these are the domains obtained by all the constant propagated in the algorithm, and so these are the final domain values. Now coming on to the stage 3, which is backtracking search, and stage 4 relaxation. These are applied only when a constraint is violated, but in our case violation has not been encountered, so there is no need to perform the backtracking or relaxation. And now coming to the realization of the algorithm. So basically we have obtained all the domains of S and F. S is starting time of any activity and F is finishing time of the activity. Let's suppose 2 activities. So basic 2 is basically second part of the road 2. So its initial S22 is 2 to 3 and F22 is domain 6 to 7. So we are considering for schedule will be considering early or late Gantt charts. Will be making a chart, and this will be considering the lower bound of every like start time or finish time. So S22's early time is at lower bound is 2, so we'll consider 2, and F22 is 6. So activity 2 will be start from 2 and will end at 6. We are considering both lower bounds. So as you can see, activity 2 is starting from 2 and ending at 6. So we have made this black bars. So as we can see, like in this area, road R1 is in service and R2 and R3 in construction, and gate in service in this area is G1 and G2. So in this whole area, whole sections, like at least one gate and one road is available for the service, right? So which satisfies our criteria. Now coming on to the conclusion part, like the proposed CSP based scheduling method basically focuses on the satisfaction of project constraint, whereas the CPM method based on like basically focuses on scheduling activity based on a predefined or fixed logic. So CPM is cannot handle the multi logics, and it cannot be handled in the model itself, and for a large product it take a lot of time because it is a traditional algorithm. Now coming on to the AI methods benefit. So basically it can incorporate conditional constraints, it can incorporate multi logics. Also the alternate schedule can be produced from this, and so instead of like getting one schedule, we can produce alternative solution as well, which is not possible in case of CPM. And also various heuristic can be used to fasten the time taken for the algorithm. And coming on to the future aspects of this, so now future scope of these activities, prioritization of the alternative schedule, according to the planner's criteria. And also we can do is in the future like incorporating of intelligent heuristic search to increase the efficiency of schedule generations. And the third and lastly, we can what we can do is expanding the current algorithm to the advanced feature, making it advanced. So we what such as like we can include in effective constant relaxation, and also we can make it as interactive scheduling. So these are the future scope which can be done in this area. And thank you for listening to my presentation.